Welcome to Streaming News Network by Claude McDaniel. News without the hype and biased reporting. Please like and subscribe.
This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. President Donald Trump has announced a temporary 3-day ceasefire in the war between Russia and Ukraine, scheduled for May 9 through May 11. According to Trump, the pause in fighting will coincide with Russia's Victory Day celebrations marking the Allied triumph in World War II. He also noted Ukraine's major role and sacrifice during the war. The ceasefire is expected to include a full suspension of military combat operations, along with a large-scale prisoner exchange involving 1,000 prisoners from each side. Trump said the agreement came after direct requests he made to Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, both of whom reportedly agreed to the temporary halt in hostilities. Trump described the move as a possible turning point in the conflict, calling it a step toward ending what he referred to as the largest and deadliest war in Europe since World War II. He added that negotiations to permanently end the war are continuing and said progress is being made daily. This is Streaming News Network. The Trump administration has released a new collection of government files, videos, and photographs connected to what officials describe as unidentified anomalous phenomenon, often referred to as unidentified flying objects or possible extraterrestrial activity. The disclosure is part of a broader transparency initiative aimed at making more government information available to the public regarding unexplained aerial encounters and related investigations. In a statement from the White House, officials said previous administrations often attempted to dismiss or discourage public discussion surrounding these incidents. The administration says President Donald Trump is instead focused on allowing Americans to review the material for themselves and draw their own conclusions. The newly released material reportedly includes videos, images, and original government source documents connected to past investigations into unexplained aerial sightings and encounters. Officials say the records have been published through a government-hosted Department of War website as part of the ongoing public release effort. The administration has not confirmed any evidence of extraterrestrial life but says additional disclosures could follow in the coming months. This is Streaming News Network. A Florida man is facing serious criminal charges after authorities say he walked away from a deadly 3-vehicle crash that killed a 17-year-old boy. Investigators say 32-year-old Christopher Everson was involved in the crash late on the night of April 11 along State Road 574 in Seffner, near the Tampa area. According to investigators, a Nissan sedan crossed into oncoming traffic and collided head-on with a Volkswagen being driven by the teenage victim. Authorities say Everson, who was driving a Ford F-150 pickup truck, then crashed into the Volkswagen after the initial impact. The 17-year-old driver suffered critical injuries and later died at the hospital. The driver of the Nissan was also hospitalized and reportedly cited for careless driving. Authorities say Everson did not remain at the scene. Instead, investigators claim he left the area with his 8-year-old son and used a rideshare service to return home to St. Petersburg. Everson was arrested Thursday and is now charged with leaving the scene of a crash involving death, along with operating an unregistered vehicle. He remains jailed without bond. This is Streaming News Network. At 82 years old, legendary Mick Jagger continues to defy expectations with the same high-energy performances that helped make him one of rock music's most iconic frontmen. The Rolling Stones singer is reportedly working on new music with the band and could even return to touring in 2026, an achievement many say reflects far more than good genetics. Health experts and longtime rock producer Isadora Puigin say Jagger's longevity is rooted in discipline, exercise, and a long-term commitment to physical wellness. Puigin, who recently authored a book examining Jagger's lifestyle and health habits, says the rock legend serves as proof that it is never too late to improve one's health, even after decades of the demanding rock and roll lifestyle. She says her interest in Jagger's wellness routine intensified after he turned 80, calling him an ideal example of healthy aging on a global stage. Jagger, a father of 8, remains engaged to former ballet performer Melanie Hamrick, who is 38 years old. Supporters say his continued activity and endurance highlight how fitness, movement, and consistency may play a major role in maintaining vitality later in life. This is Streaming News Network. Legendary entertainer Dick Van Dyke says avoiding anger and hatred may be one of the biggest reasons he is still thriving as he approaches his 100th birthday this December. In a new interview, the beloved actor and performer reflected on the mindset he believes helped sustain him through nearly a century of life and more than 70 years in entertainment. Van Dyke said he has never been able to hold deep hatred toward others, explaining that anger and hate can slowly destroy a person from within. Instead, he credits his long life to maintaining what he called a brighter outlook on life. The actor also praised his wife, Arlene Silver, saying their ongoing romance has helped keep him youthful and energized. Silver is 54 years old. Despite remaining active, Van Dyke admitted he sometimes feels diminished physically and socially, especially after losing many of his lifelong friends. Still, he says he wakes up happy and often feels like he is 13 years old at heart. Van Dyke recently released a new book titled 100 Rules for Living to 100, sharing lessons and stories from his remarkable life and career. The award-winning star is best known for classics including Mary Poppins and The Dick Van Dyke Show, earning multiple Emmy Awards, a Tony Award, and a Grammy across his celebrated career. This is Streaming News Network. A remarkable and mysterious prison escape attempt in Ukraine is once again drawing international attention after new details resurfaced about a mother who allegedly tried to dig a tunnel to free her imprisoned son. According to reports, the 51-year-old woman traveled to southeastern Ukraine in the summer of 2020 and rented a home near a prison complex in Kamyansk, where her son was reportedly serving a life sentence. Investigators say the woman spent nearly 3 weeks secretly digging a tunnel by hand during the night. The underground passage was reportedly about 33 feet long and 10 feet deep. Authorities believe she used an electric scooter to travel to the dig site after dark and hid large amounts of dirt inside an abandoned garage nearby. The tunnel never successfully reached the prison, and officials eventually uncovered the operation before any escape could happen. The case stunned many because of the sheer scale of the effort and the dangerous conditions involved. Reports suggest the woman used a small plywood cart to move through the narrow underground passage while continuing the excavation alone. What ultimately happened to the woman and her son remains unclear. While criminal proceedings were reportedly opened, no public records have confirmed whether she was convicted or imprisoned. This is Streaming News Network. Joni Lamb, co-founder and president of the Daystar television network, has died at the age of 65 following a series of undisclosed health complications. In a statement released by the Texas-based religious broadcaster, officials said Lamb had been struggling with serious health issues prior to suffering a recent back injury that reportedly worsened her condition and led to a severe medical crisis. Network officials said her health rapidly declined in recent days before her passing on Thursday. Daystar's board praised Lamb's dedication to faith and ministry, saying her love for both the Christian faith and the network's viewers helped shape the organization from its earliest beginnings. Lamb founded Daystar alongside her late husband, Marcus Lamb, in 1993. Under their leadership, the network expanded into one of the largest Christian television broadcasters in the world. Over the years, Daystar became known for its global religious programming and large audience reach, supported through donations and the sale of broadcast airtime. Joni Lamb is being remembered by supporters as a major figure in Christian broadcasting whose influence helped build one of the most recognized faith-based media networks in America. This is Streaming News Network. Vi Lyles has announced she will step down as mayor of Charlotte on June 30, only months after winning re-election in a decisive victory. The longtime Democratic mayor surprised many across North Carolina with the sudden announcement, ending a political career in Charlotte that has spanned decades. In a public statement, Lyles called serving as mayor the honor of my life, highlighting accomplishments that included economic growth, neighborhood investments, and guiding the city through periods of rapid expansion and major challenges. Lyles said her decision was motivated by family and a desire to spend more time with her grandchildren. She also acknowledged there would likely be speculation surrounding the timing of her departure but insisted her reasons were personal. The resignation comes just 6 months after Lyles secured another term in office. Since first becoming mayor in 2017, she had remained politically dominant and faced few serious election challenges. While not leaving office under any formal scandal, Lyles did face criticism during her tenure over transparency concerns tied to a controversial 6-figure separation agreement involving a former Charlotte-Mecklenburg police chief. Her administration also faced growing scrutiny over crime and public safety following several high-profile violent incidents in the city. Despite those controversies, political leaders from both parties praised her leadership. Former mayor and former North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory commended Lyles for her professionalism and service to the city. Health officials are monitoring a rare outbreak of hantavirus aboard the cruise ship MV Hondius after at least 3 passengers died and multiple others became ill during a voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. According to international health authorities, the outbreak has been linked to 8 cases so far, including 5 confirmed infections and 3 suspected cases. The victims reportedly include a Dutch couple and a German passenger. Hantavirus is typically spread through exposure to rodents, including contact with contaminated urine, saliva, or droppings from rats and mice. The illness can lead to severe respiratory and kidney complications. Officials say the cruise ship outbreak is unusual because investigators believe some infections may have spread through close human-to-human contact, something considered extremely rare with hantavirus. The outbreak is drawing additional attention because the same virus was linked earlier this year to the death of Betsy Arakawa, wife of late actor Gene Hackman. Authorities previously determined Arakawa died from hantavirus pulmonary syndrome at the couple's New Mexico home, where investigators later discovered evidence of rodent activity on the property. The cruise ship departed from Ushuaia on April 1 and has since made multiple emergency medical stops as passengers became ill during the voyage. Health officials continue to investigate the source and possible spread of the outbreak. However, ships are notorious for having rat and mice infiltrations. This has been a report by Claude McDaniel of Streaming News Network.
Thank you for listening to Streaming News Network videos and shorts. Please like and subscribe to our news channel.